wanted to kind of talk to you guys about some of the situations that are going on. A lot of this stuff I share over on our Patreon channel, such as the moon will cause cities to disappear. It's going to be a global phenomena. And, of course, we were talking about Yellowstone. Now, that we did make public for everybody because of May of next year is a 60% probability that it's going to erupt as a result of a magnetic and cosmic events that are going to be taking place. And then, of course, inside DARPA's secret project, we go into a lot of information there, who's really behind what's going on in the world, things like that. There's always things like that we're posting over on Patreon. But what really, the reason why I wanted to bring out the broadcast today here was because someone had sent me a note that Mike from around the world was saying on Paul's program there, Paul Begley, that there is going to be cities that will be a couple of feet underwater, and something's going to happen very rapidly, and it's going to be, all around the nation and stuff. Basically, what Mike is referring to is exactly what we reported back on August the 19th. I'm going to play a clip here for you because this is something that, as I mentioned on here, is part of the, it's actually considered a classified subject and part of national security. So Mike doesn't go into the real reason behind it, but we actually do. And the only reason I'm able to do it is because I knew there was a certain senator that kind of alluded to it, and he gave us an open door to kind of expound on that issue there. But there are tremendous things, and so Mike's very accurate on a lot of the information he speaks about. We normally kind of bring that out a couple of weeks or so before he does there on Paul's program, but nonetheless, still a lot of accurate information. The only thing I don't agree with, though, in a lot of cases, though, is the push for Israel as being a focal point of biblical prophecy, as if the Messiah is going to return and everything's going to be all hunky-dory at the end of the day there. No, Israel is going to lead the way for the Antichrist, is what Israel is going to do. And they're definitely using fallen angels that'll be a part of that program. And all these nations coming against Israel, the Taliban. In fact, we'd already mentioned as well, because that's something they got into as well, was China, Russia, Turkey, and Iran all working together with the Taliban, no less. And we'd already covered that. We already shared that information with you. But the thing is, we do that months in advance because we know months in advance what the next move is going to be on the playing board, such as Taiwan. I've been telling you for, gosh, I don't know, since, what was it, about May or June or something like that. I'm telling you about China's going to take Taiwan down. And at first, when I first said it, nobody believed it. No, but now it's starting to seep out that that's going to happen as well. Let me play this part here, though, about the moon that will actually cause these cities to disappear. And it's not like it disappears just rapidly. As I mentioned in here, it's slowly, the water begins to rise higher, higher. The tides are moving in to where it makes it to where these cities become uninhabitable. That's what's going to happen. Listen now. The moon and its orbit and what's going to happen is actually considered a classified subject and part of national security. Believe it or not, that's how serious they take that. So, I disclosed some of this information already in a video that we did here about relocating. If you live anywhere 200 miles within a shoreline of a major body of water, such as, the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, any ocean in the world for that matter, you need to seriously consider start relocation process now. That was the word I got directly from friends in Washington. And I really wondered why. I knew it had to do with the moon. I did know that. I was told that, but I was never giving any details. And, of course, they could not give detail. Well, I won't continue to play it. You guys can find that video. I'll leave the link for you so you can actually watch the video. And but this is the type of information that we're continually getting on a regular basis, updates about things that are going on, things that are going to happen. And what's really sinister, though, is not only are all these cataclysmic events going to be taking place, as I mentioned to you, you know, I'd already told you that, you know, September, October, and I told you this like back at the beginning of the year, you know, we would see a second wave of asteroids. And these are not planet killer type asteroids, but it's going to be some that are going to, as it was put to me, it'll make you mess yourself. That type of asteroids that are going to be coming in later in the part of the year there. But not planet killers, except for the one that we're still trying to deal with and brought China in on it. And China wanted to use nukes on it. But then the fallen angels, the extraterrestrials that the governments are working with, will not permit the use of nuclear weapons against these particular asteroids because of what it does on a multiple scale there. I know a lot of people say, oh, that's just crazy. That's not true. Well, whatever. You know, that's why we don't say much on Israeli News Live in the first place. But the thing is, though, these are the things, though, that we've been warned about. And, of course, that one asteroid is 1/4 mile wide that is expected to hit the Pacific subduction zone unless they are able to break it up or move it off course. And there does seem to be a lot of optimism in Washington that they're able to do so and that we'll be able to dodge that bullet, so to speak. But then I was told, though, regardless, though, whether we dodge that bullet or not makes no difference. The activities that are going on the Earth, we will start to see 8.0 and higher earthquakes by the end of the year. We're going to continue to see more storms, larger storms than what you just saw hit New Orleans. You're going to see flooding all across the United States, not just the United States, globally, as this whole weather phenomenon is going to totally change. And the lava is moving. You know, I've been told, as I've shared with you multiple times already, you know, the sinkholes that are going to be happening across the country. And then we showed you just the other day, you know, 1/4 mile long sinkhole up in Minnesota that just, the ground just collapses 25 feet into the ground. You know, things are just going bonkers on this earth. But as I also said to you, and this was a very ominous type of message that was given to me, and that was, they're not expecting many survivors in 2022. I find that hard to believe myself, and I'm sure you do as well. But then again, it's because of all the calamities that are coming. It's also because of all those, you know, things they were doing this to you on, that's going to begin to mature. And then, of course, I also got something that I've not shared as of yet because of the sickness that I got. And it was deemed to be a parasitic pneumonia caused by people that shed. I'll just say that. Not like a dog in his hair, but they're shedding more than just hair. And then I got a message from friends there in D.C. that said to me that there is going to be a 400% increase of those types of pneumonias and sicknesses and illnesses. That's going to be really bad. So, as I was told, if you couple everything together with all the phenomena, and then going into next year, they are anticipating very serious asteroid situations. But it's mainly the earthquakes, the volcanoes that are going to be erupting, the ocean. You know, as I was told, the earth is going to just be ripping apart at the seams. And then you take into account with the rising waters, and that has a lot to do with the moon. It's not just the melting glaciers. Sure, the melting glaciers are going to contribute to it. You know, I saw this myself in a dream where my grandparents used to live and the water had risen up on the ground. They lived on a bayou, of course, you know, so the water to get up to the main ground would only have to rise about 4 feet maybe, and then another foot, 5 feet, you'd be covering the ground. Well, the entire area was like a foot or so underwater. Like the entire area becoming uninhabitable, you know, and I knew the waters were rising, but I didn't know why. So you take all these things combined together, we're going to be slammed. And so it's no wonder why the Deagle report has so many people dying by the year I think it's by the year 2023 or 2025, I forget which year. So, and I know that this has a lot to do with the binary system as well when we get into 2022. I don't know, friends. I really don't. I hate to be the guy always with the bearer of bad news. And of course, too, the food issue is going to be another problem. And I was told, because I asked, I said, well, that's mostly artificial, isn't it? They said, well, technically not really, because crops are being destroyed, and California supplies 60% of our produce here for the United States. And we're having to go to Mexico and get it now because so much of everything is being destroyed out there, whether it be by fires, you know, and we can attribute this, say, to weather weapons or whatever. Clearly, it is an alien agenda. It is a fallen angel agenda, and they are wanting to bring the whole world to its knees, and they're wanting to bring the world under world war. And then Israel is supposed to have the Messiah to be the savior of the world and to answer all of our woes. Yeah, really. Looks like they're leading the way on their agenda for their country, and now they're the sickest nation in the planet. I don't think I want any of their advice. If anything, I'd like to see that the people that I have over there would wake up and recognize truly that Jesus Christ was the Messiah and quit buying into all this garbage. And especially the garbage of the evangelical community that is really pushing Israel is going to be the savior of the world. And so I guess they're going to accept the Antichrist as their Messiah. I was told, though, that they're going to bring forth a figure. When they bring this figure forth, it's going to look like the pictures of Jesus Christ. And that's people that are already in the know of what's going on and what they're planning on doing. And it will not be an earthly individual. We need to wake up, friends, before it's too late. I'm just kind of exhausted right now. It doesn't take much. I still have a lot of issues that I'm battling with this. This sickness coming out of it, thank God, but still it drains me a lot. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Try to understand. We're trying to help you guys. This is not, I don't care about views and stuff like that. I don't even pay attention to how many views I get. There's no popularity contest for me whatsoever. I'm not interested in it. If I was interested in popularity, I'd go along with their little mainstream propaganda. And then the whole world would love me, and I'd be like that guy over in Israel that claims to be a Christian and give you the false narrative and not tell you the truth. The truth will set you free. But a lot of people walk away when you stand for the truth. I'm Stephen Banu. God bless you and have a good evening. When you're dealing with classified information, unless your clearance is for classified information of that magnitude, and that all depends on